Alright, folks, let's talk about Ryusoulger. Somewhat of a series preview review, but since it's already 3 episodes in, and well, Connection was being a dumb idiot, I didn't actually get to see truly all the way through episode 3. But let's just talk about episode 1 and 2 and just the series in general and all that stuff. So, what we got very simply is and lots of people said it. I believe it too. It's kind of a ripoff of Kishiryu. I know lots of people are gonna be like, but no, it's not. No, it's not. It's like it kind of is. I mean, it's freaking dinosaurs and are using the same exact color palette. I'll actually give them slack if they would have had the extra ranger being different, but extra ranger instead of actually being like with K Ruger, who's like, we're not gonna use any yellow. There's no yellow ranger in this one. No yellow. We're using no yellow. And it's like, okay. So y'all guys gonna use yellow this time, right? And no, they decided to actually copy even the extra ranger in K Ruger instead of doing my idea, which is get a yellow ranger and have them sparkled with gold. Gold! That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Instead, no. No, no, no. They are using the gold concept, but they're not actually using yellow. That was a big mistake. Another big mistake is the fact of they actually are knights in this one, which is like, oh yeah, it's about time. Oh my gosh, it's about time. But they're not actually going with the idea of what Mega Ranger did, aka Power Rangers in Space, which is just have them one single Zord. And the Zord slash Megazord is a dragon. That makes so much sense, and well, no, they didn't go with it. They actually went with a Tyrannosaurus. They went with dinosaurs again, Tyrannosaurus, and a Blue Ranger Zord as a Triceratops and an Ankylosaur. It's like, we already saw this already with K. Ruger, sadly. Heck, even freaking Alba Ranger, aka Dino Thunder, they even did the 3 Megazord thing. And it's like, oh, damn. Yeah, the only difference between Dino Thunder, Alba Ranger to this one is the fact that they have a Yellow Ranger. And the Yellow Ranger Zord didn't really do much. It was just nothing but a collar or a bow tie to the Zord. Yeah, I know, it's messed up, isn't it? It's like, yeah, they don't even need the Yellow Ranger technically. They didn't need her Zord there. It's like the lesser version of Kimberly's Zord in Power Rangers, my favorite Power Rangers, so it's just kind of sad anyways. Yeah, but that one definitely was needed. Okay, let's continue on. So second episode, the first episode, they actually showed the details of, okay, so they're passing on the powers from their masters to the pupils, even though you kind of would say, I think those are the father, daughter. Now, the interesting part actually was like, oh, that is pretty awesome, is the fact that even though they passed their powers down, they're still able to morph too. So we had 2 Red Rangers, 2 Blue Rangers, 2 Pink Rangers. That's a thumbs up in my book. I'm like, okay, now that is freaking cool. But of course, well, it's not really spoilers, but yeah, the Masters die. They all die, and it's like, damn. The Red Ranger's master dies the worst one. They had the worst one. The blue and pink one actually just defended, while the red one, oh damn, the red one just had it worse. So we have these bad guys. We have like mini sources, which are kind of the bad guys, you know, like Loch Ness Monster. And then we have the Drudions or something. And it starts with a D. So we have those guys, and those guys actually apparently, well, first episode, they didn't even have to make a monster. Instead, they were like, oh, well, we're here. We're going to raid the Rangers' base, aka their temple, and maybe take their power or some kind of crap. And it turns out that that temple was the source of their power. So as soon as the temple got destroyed, then basically the Red Ranger and all the Rangers, well, just Red Ranger, the way how he got his powers back is because his master fused his soul with his Ranger key. Well, they actually use Ranger keys, but they're not really called Ranger keys. They call them Ryusouls. So yeah, he infused himself in there so he can actually morph, and most likely that's how they're going to continue to morph. As for Blue and Pink, we're not sure if they got infused with it too. It kind of was maybe implied, but we don't really have good proof that actually happened to them as well. So yeah, and my gosh, what the freaking yeah. So they actually got their Zord and their Megazord. They don't have to look for it or anything, which kind of like in Jiro. I mean, yeah, Kyruger, they didn't actually have to loot. They didn't have to actually look for their Zords. The Zords just get summoned, you know. I mean, let's yeah. All their Zords, they already know where the hell they were. Just like these guys, they already know where the hell their Zords are. But the crazy part is like they found them, and then the next episode they have to look for the Red Ranger Zord, and then the third episode they find the Pink and Blue Zord, which somehow the Blue and Pink Ranger Zord are smarter than the Red Ranger Zord, which is like what the freak. Now, as for the gimmick of the well, let me just say with the first episode, it was okay, and then all of a sudden they had to fit at the very end. Roll call! I am Red Ranger, the freaking Knight of Valor, and I'm the Blue Ranger. I am the Knight of Wisdom, and I'm the Pink Ranger, and I'm the Knight of Vigor. And it's like, why the hell you have this roll call at the end of the damn episode? It seems pretty stupid. I mean, it only just gives the funny part of where the dinosaurs were behind them when they did the roll call. Then next episode, the dinosaurs are nowhere to be found. They just split out of nowhere, and they didn't even notice that they left. I mean, that's the only funny part that came from the roll call, but the roll call was unneeded, though. It's like, yeah, you could have waited next episode. As for the fight that happened with the Megazord, because, well, Minisaurus, aka a Loch Ness Monster, showed up and he had to fight it. Well, the Red Ranger went up there and he fought it, and with the Megazord, and we got to see the Megazord in action. It's okay. The Megazord's okay in action. It actually has some cool gimmicks. I'll admit, it's like some cool stuff that you did. Excuse me. Then the second episode, we get to see what exactly happens. Oh yeah, we also get to have this one girl named Yui or UI or whatever her name was you want to call her. She's actually going to be the helpful person that actually is a little bit of, she's trying to get famous on the freaking internet. So she does what Bender does, which is just fake everything, where she's like, I'm in the Amazon. Not really, you're not in the Amazon, you're actually in some local park. And apparently the Rangers were supposed to actually keep themselves and their everything hidden, but of course the Red Ranger didn't. And when he's supposed to actually have wiped her memory, he didn't wipe her memory, so there we go on that one. She does have a dad, and apparently they're her dad's an archaeologist, and he's most likely going to be useful. And plus, is this the whole thing of the usual other trope of where they need a place to stay, so they're going to stay at his house. And it's kind of funny that even Kamen Rider's doing that right now, and it's like, okay, sure. Then in this next episode, we get to see exactly what happens. So one of the bad guys, we got actually looked at the bad guys. There's just two of them. One's the one who actually creates monsters. The other one's the muscle, kind of like Goldar, and kind of like all the other ones you can think of that are like strongman. So what happens is that apparently this dumb, I'm going to call it kid. Yeah, I'm going to call the bad guy who creates the monsters a kid. What he has to do is actually put his spit. It's gross. It's freaking gross. He has to put his spit inside of the victim's mouth. Yes, I know, right? I know. What the fuck? And his spit is slimy too. It's like as if, the Ghostly Trio? You ever seen Casper Spirited Beginning? That one scene where Stinky's like, I'm gonna sneeze. Achoo! And everyone got covered in snot and slippity and crap. That's exactly what you're dealing with when it comes to that dumbass bastard spit. So he's got to find. He's most likely gonna have to find clever ways of making him drink his spit, and it's like I don't believe I'm even saying that, and I don't believe I actually have to watch this whole entire season where this dude is gonna spit in everyone's freaking mouths, or spit in someone's coffee, or he's gonna have a freaking lemonade stand. Hey, free lemonade! And then one person drinking is like, oh god, he spat in it. Oh fuck. He's like, yeah. Or rip off what happened in Young Justice season 2, where it's like, we got the reach. Here's my soda with no spit in it. I promise. It's like, my gosh. It's like, good lord, man. And you thought Slurm was horrible. Oh my gosh. The dude is gonna. Oh my gosh. And the victim of the second episode actually is a jousting person. And as for the idea of, I'm trying to become a better fighter in number one. So I ditched my family for 2 years to become number one. And it's like, I get the drive of it, but I don't really get you, man. I mean, I get it that some actually would think family is weak, but so unlike the other mini sword that just showed up and it's like, what the frick? This one actually is driven by the same exact tendencies as the guy, aka the joust victim. So he wants to be number one, and he's gonna now actually go to the place where the person who's number one actually is right now. And he was about to freaking punch the freaking the freaking building down with everyone in it. It's like, oh fuck. Yeah, and then, well, luckily the Red Ranger found his Zord. His Zord apparently decided to sleep in a playground area. So he got him up, and now he's fighting, and then eventually comes a Megazord, and well, he doesn't have the other two Zords, so it's just vanilla Red Ranger Zord. And well, it's interesting all the gimmicks as in, there we go. And can actually say and note that this Red Ranger Zord kinda a little bit reminds me of the movie Megazord from Power Rangers. Not the you know which one is the third one, the one that was rebooted and was gritty and crap. Yeah, it looks kind of like that freaking Zord a little bit. So that after all of that, oh yeah, they were trying to actually look for the other two Rangers, and then also they had the funny joke of where it's like, this is a speed soul, let's do it. So it turns out it was a stank soul. Yeah, or stink soul. So basically, not only you're kind of like Kishiryu, but you also have powers that are like Kishiryu. Even though I don't think they actually had one that actually makes them go actually speed up. I don't think they didn't have one with speed up. I'm pretty sure they didn't actually have one that actually makes them stronger and buffer. So I guess the good news is that the powers are kind of vary from Kishiryu, aka Dino Charge, but you do have like some of the same thing, or at least you have the fart one where it's like, yeah, that actually exists in yeah. And most likely you might not have the firepower one, which that's my favorite one. I love the firepower one. And apparently, I guess they're not gonna have any bikes this year. So yeah, there's not gonna be one where they summon bikes. So okay. And yes, for the real souls, they actually might have to be looking for some, but for right now they have plenty of them. Excuse me. Well, again, just like Kishiryu, because Kishiryu had plenty of them anyways. The only thing is that they had to find the person who actually makes the batteries, and they have to actually make more because they only had one of each. And eventually they were able to bump up to three. They have three of them now. Well, anyways, let's continue on. So that's the two episodes. The third episode, like I said, I didn't get to see it. And they're gonna get the second. They're gonna get the Green and Black Ranger, which Green and Black Ranger acts as if they're from Kishiryu again. Again, I mean, the only difference for Kishiryu that's different from this is just the fact of the Red Ranger was the one that was missing. This time around, they're already a team. They're already a team. The only difference is that, just like what happened in Kishiryu, is that the Black Ranger and the Green Ranger are like, man, we have our own dealings. We actually we do stuff all by ourselves. And so as the Red Ranger came in Kyruger, he's like, well, I'm gonna bring the Green Ranger, the Blue Ranger, and Yellow Ranger, Pink Ranger to my team. And yep, now they're actually now kind of buddy buddy. And now they have to get the Black Ranger and Green Ranger into this. And since they do, now they're actually one good big team. So this time around, it's more the fact of their same exact deal, but the Red Ranger's already part of the Pink. So they skip the process of where the Red Ranger's the one that's like, oh, we've been waiting for you all our lives. Oh Lord. And well, now it just to the point of where the Black Ranger and Green Ranger, they have to be a part of the team. Okay, let's just end it by actually talking about the Zords themselves. Of course, I didn't see what happens when the Black Rangers Needle, yeah, crazy enough. Yep, I wonder if they're fans of Game of Thrones. So we have Needle here, and then we have the Pussycat. We're just gonna call him Pussycat. So we see what happens with the three knights. We see that you can actually swap and everything, and we can see that they kind of took some cues from O Ranger slash Power Ranger Zeo, especially what they took cues from Ninja, aka Ninja Steel, where it's like we can switch cockpits. So the Blue Ranger can switch cockpits, the Pink Ranger can switch cockpits. I bet chances are the Black one can do it, and also the Green Ranger can do it. So it's like everyone can switch cockpits, everybody do it. And as for everyone else, it's like, well, all the other Ryusouls, because you can actually put the keys inside of the freaking cockpit, and there you go, you change his freaking helmet. It's too bad that all the ones are plain. Everyone else is plain except for the Rangers, and it's like, oh damn. So that's kind of sucky. It's like you would love to actually have like, well, the antenna is different. The antenna is different, but that doesn't actually help. But the Zords, in my opinion, I don't say they're Lego building. It's more like it's Mega Blocks, or you're just calling Fakos, because Legos are contained. Excuse me. They have contained studs in there. They have contained. Those are like freaking poking out. Yeah, those are four things that are poking out. I mean, unless someone actually is cool enough to put a Lego piece and try to actually put Lego pieces in, it's like, see, I told you so. Which most likely you can't. I think though it's not Lego. It's most likely Fako more than anything. But they're using that system. The system is kind of okay. It's just that, well, one person was actually showing how it's technically not that good though. It's not that good. You apparently you can't actually move. Excuse me. You're able to move the Tyrannosaurus around. You're able to actually move him around. That's the good news, is that you're able to move his legs. But as for the saber-toothed tiger, pussycat, and also Stegosaurus, which I didn't even see any display of that, they can't move. Their legs can't move. You can't actually move their freaking legs. So they can't actually be on the prowl like the saber-toothed tiger from Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because that one has like some good stuff. You can actually do what some of the moves that you see it when it comes to coming out of, where was it? Was it the desert? No, it was the desert. The Blue Rangers was in the desert. The Pink Black Rangers was in the Arctic. It was a forest, yeah. It came from a forest. So you actually saw it just jump from the forest, and you could do mostly every single move that it did in the episode. Excuse me. Yeah, you can kind of do everything, so that's pretty cool, man. So I'll just end it by saying the Megazord is something I'm most likely not gonna get. I mean, I think it's interesting, but it's not really that good. As for the whole, let's put the Black Rangers Zord all over it, or put the Green Rangers Zord all over it, I just have to say, isn't it kind of like what happened in Geki Ranger? I mean, Geki Ranger, even though Geki Ranger is a little bit different, because Geki Ranger is just, you put it on, fold out a little bit of stuff, you're done. Yeah, I guess the elephant. Yeah, the elephant's a little bit different. No, elephant's not. Elephant's a little bit different. Elephant's just like what this one does. Except, well, this one does a little bit more because you have. Hold on, let me see. No, they put the freaking legs on his arms, and then his head apparently is part of a sword, and then he has chest plate, and that's it. So I guess it is kind of like the freaking elephant in a way. It's kind of like the elephant. The bat kind of sucked ass, and the freaking shark kind of sucked ass. I know that's messed up to say, but I'm just saying. When it comes to actually, they do more than what you think they do. They don't actually do much, and the bat's the worst one of them all. Considering all you got to do is just put them on the back of the freaking Megazord, and then you switch faces with them, and there you go. That's how you freaking make the bat. It's like just two steps to them. This one has more steps than that. As for watch or don't watch, I guess it's a watch, but considering, it seems like it's retreading, and well, this one actually is a cry for help in a way. It's like it's crying for help because they tried actually doing stuff, and you need to note that when it comes to Super Sentai, they for the past years have actually incorporated their gimmick in their Zord line. Let's see when they first started. I think they started with Tokyuger. They started with Tokyuger, and then after that, they actually did it with Ryusoulger, aka Dino Charge, and then was it Ninja after that, or was it? Maybe I'm mixing things up because first it was Go Busters, then it was Ryusoulger, then it was Tokyuger, and Tokyuger definitely did it, and then after that was Ninja, and Ninja actually did that as well. It's like Ninja did it as well, and then after Ninja it was Kyogre, Kyogre, and Kyogre actually does Q Ranger, sorry, Q Ranger, and they did it as well. Yeah, they did as well, and it's kind of sad that the Megazords and everything is a little bit messed up when they actually have to do their ultimate form because their ultimate form was kind of messed the freak up. Then after that was Lupin Ranger versus Pato Ranger. And that one's actually also had a gimmick line within the Megazord too. And it kind of suffered a little bit for it. I think that more than anything, the Megazord suffered for it. So I didn't even read how many was it. But as you can see, let me just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years of a gimmick. 5 years. Excuse me. And we didn't even talk about like even earlier before that, where they were doing pretty decent. Mega Ranger, aka Go Sagers, did they have a gimmick? They kind of had a gimmick, but not really. Samurai, aka Shinkinger, they kind of had a gimmick, but not really, because some of them did have the freaking disc inside of them. Yeah, some of them actually did. Like the later ones, it's like that's supposed to be origami. They did have the discs inside of them, so at least like 4 of them had discs. Nope, 5, 6, 5 to 6, 5 to 6 had discs. So it kind of did. They kind of a little bit did it, but not really. Then as for Super Mega Force, aka Go Kaijers, I don't think they had a gimmick line. They definitely did, and the gimmick line did come with Ranger keys. This is where the start of Ranger keys happened, and you did have to buy sets to get certain Ranger keys, didn't they? No, I think that was American made. I think that might have been American done. Excuse me, but either so, watch or don't watch, I have a lukewarm feeling with this, where it's like it might be interesting. We might have to stay tuned for it. But the first episode, I do have to admit, was pretty decent. It was pretty decent. It is actually warranted to watch for a watch. But the thing is that even though it's warranted for a watch, the second and third episode, especially with the freaking bad guy who has to spit in people's mouths to make the freaking monsters of the day, gotta admit, that's kind of like, oh, what the frick? No, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that at all. And now I still have to watch the third episode where I didn't actually have like a second option of, oh yeah, this time around, what the dude did, yeah. Yeah, it's like this time around, what the dude did was punch the guy in the face, knock him out, and then spit in his mouth. It's like, oh, what the? Because every single time he's gonna spit in the mouth of the person. He's gonna spit He's gonna spit, period. And that's like, damn, man, that totally sucks. It's like, wow, couldn't you? I don't care. I would have preferred you guys would have ripped off freaking Joy Cheerio or what his name is. Yeah, I would have been okay with you actually just being like, yeah, we got a freaking water bucket and we just poured a water bucket over a person. It's like I would have preferred that over you have to spit in people's mouths. What the frick, man? What the frick?